I don't know how any Alabama fan could look me in my eyes and tell me, you know what, Matt? I think Alabama's a playoff team. I don't know how you could do it, because this ain't a playoff team. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Is Miami a playoff team? Well, let me know in the comment section down below. And if the answer to that question is yes, what have they done? Interesting stuff. Very, very, very interesting stuff at that. Okay, so, yeah, we won. As you can tell, I'm not, especially since the Michigan and Little Bro State game, I've calmed down a little bit, or a lot bit, kind of being sarcastic, but Alabama just got done winning the Iron Bowl, the greatest rivalry in all college football. I know, and I hate to say it. I hate to say it. I don't want to say it, but I got to call things for how I see it. Alabama just didn't look good. It's one of those things, too, and it's hard for me to get invested in games and situations in which they really don't mean nothing, and I'll get to that in just a second. Well, no, let's get to it now. So, Alabama, heading into today, they needed a couple things to happen. They needed either A, Georgia to lose both the Georgia Tech game and an SEC championship. That can't happen. They needed Cal to win. That didn't happen. They needed Indiana. That one's ongoing. Probably not going to happen. Purdue's awful, but whatever. As we don't know what's going to happen there. That's the only one left. I'll get to that in just a second. What's the other team? I'm drawing a blank. Miami did lose. I'll talk about that a little bit. Who was the other team? There was one more team that Alabama needed to lose. Oh, yeah. You needed Vanderbilt to beat Tennessee. That would have really helped. The only thing that kind of has helped Alabama is South Kakalaki beat Clemson. But even at that, Kakalaki might jump Alabama. Guess we'll have to wait and see. But it's better than Clemson winning, because if Clemson won, well, they're not going to fall behind Bama in the first place. So now you have the argument of, hey, we beat South Carolina head-to-head. They also have 3 losses. Be really interesting to see what the committee does there. But remember, Alabama, don't let the 13 fool you. Alabama isn't just one spot out. They're 2 spots out. So that's why I said they need 2 things to happen. And outside of South Kakalaki winning, and yet again, can't emphasize this enough, you still don't know if Alabama's going to stay ahead of South Kakalaki. You needed one more to happen, and it didn't. I'm not giving Purdue much of a chance. I low-key felt like Eddie Brock and guy right here, Spider-Man 3. Y'all remember when he was at the altar praying on Peter Parker's downfall? Literally, praying on his downfall. That's how I am with Indiana. If you're an Alabama fan, you need them to lose. Now, with all that being said, did I expect, even heading into the night, if Alabama won, for some things to happen? Me personally, not really. I mean, it's rival week. Chaos can happen, but I just didn't see it. I didn't think Cal had much of a shot. I didn't think Indiana was going to lose. I didn't think Vandy was going to beat Tennessee. So nothing that's happened today has really, I guess you'd say, disappointed me or shocked me in that aspect. So I say all that to say this. Since there hasn't been many upsets today, not a lot of chaos, the Iron Bowl was kind of like a nothing burger. I personally don't get too worked up over the Iron Bowl. Don't get me wrong, I want to beat Auburn. In-state rivals. I grew up in Alabama my entire life. I currently reside in Alabama. But for me, I've never just full out hated Auburn. And I would argue and say, Nick Saban said this, Alabama, the players and fans, actually want to beat Tennessee more than they want to beat Auburn. Auburn fans, and this is my personal experience growing up, I had a bunch of Auburn friends I went to high school with. They never rubbed me the wrong way. They were never really annoying. Auburn knew, and I guess this is why, they knew they weren't on Alabama's level, and they knew they weren't that great of a football team, at least when I was growing up. Therefore, Auburn fans, they lived in reality, and anytime they ever upset Alabama, they were appreciative, and they knew, oh yeah, Alabama's better, but we upset them. They were grateful for it. But Tennessee fans, I guess why, and this is why I want to beat Tennessee more, is they always had, okay, so first things first, here's some perspective. Tennessee all throughout when I was in high school, middle school, just growing up. They were awful. I mean, Alabama beat them, 15, 16 years in a row. And outside of Alabama beating them, Tennessee just wasn't a very good football team. But the thing that kind of annoyed me is Tennessee fans, although they weren't good, they talked and acted like they were good, and they always said the same thing. Oh yeah, this is going to be our year. In the offseason, even though last year was terrible, they'd always say in early August when we was going to school, oh yeah, this is going to be our year. And it never was. I know what you're sitting here saying, Matt, where are you trying to go with this, buddy? Great question, my friend. I'll let you answer it. I don't just think about, oh yeah, every single year, we got to beat Auburn. If we don't beat Auburn, the years are waste. That's not how I think. I want to beat Auburn, but a main reason I've always wanted to beat Auburn really bad is because they were in our way to winning a national championship, and we needed to beat them from that standpoint. Well, this year, it's just kind of like, well, we ain't making the playoffs, so does it really matter? That's just how I viewed the game. And I hate to be that way. I know some Bama fans are like, man, come on, man. You got to be a little more passionate. I'm sorry. It's just how I feel. I mean, I don't care. I'll put it to you like this. I'd rather look. No, this is the greatest example. I hope this puts it into great perspective, too. I'd rather lose to Auburn every single year if that means we're going to make the playoff. I'd rather go, let's just say 10-2, lose to Auburn, make the 12-team playoff. I could care less about beating Auburn. As long as we get to the playoff and we win championships, I'm cool at losing to Auburn. That's just me. Maybe some other Bama fans are different. I don't really just hate Auburn that much. So now that we've established that, it was hard for me really to get into this game because I knew no matter how bad we won, and we didn't win bad, I'll get to the game itself in just a second, we ain't going to the playoffs. Therefore, don't really care. If we win, we ain't going. If we lose, we ain't going. So why am I supposed to get excited? Oh, because it's your in-state rival? That don't excite me. I don't know. That's kind of like a moral victory. Oh, yeah, you beat Auburn. Okay. And it's still a disappointment of the season. The goal this year for me wasn't to win a championship. I thought that was unreasonable and it couldn't happen. The goal this year for me was to make the playoff. And we ain't doing that. Ain't going to happen unless Purdue 1-10. Like we say sorry and sucky on this channel. Yeah, no. Purdue is the definition of sorry and sucky. They are abysmal. Like, you want to talk about the Vanderbilt and Oklahoma being an embarrassing loss for Alabama? Purdue's 10 times that. There's no way Indiana loses to them. No way. If they do, I'll make an emergency video. Let's get into the game itself, though. Let me ask you this question before we go any farther. Is Alabama a playoff team? Do they deserve to be in the playoffs? Should they be in the playoffs? Let me know down below. This game from start to finish embodied how Alabama played this year. 4 turnovers. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 turnovers. 4. And they still won by double digits. Thankfully, Auburn looked like, and it's just terrible for them, they looked like they didn't even want to be there. It was sad to watch. I don't know what it is about Auburn. If they're not playing in that witchcraft of a stadium, Jordan-Hare Stadium, if they ain't playing there, it's like they don't even care. That's why I just feel like you can't pick Auburn when they play at Bama. Because it's like they don't even have their mojo or swagger. But when they're in Jordan-Hare Stadium, oh yeah, that place rocking, that place jumping. The witchcraft, it's in full effect. It's hard to explain. If you know, you know. But tonight, they didn't even want to be there. Peyton Thorne, you really want me to step in and ridicule him? We knew Peyton Thorne wasn't really good heading into this game. Hey, but Alabama and Milroe. I mean, Ryan Williams dropped an easy touchdown. He had a fumble. Alabama didn't even play good. You could argue and say that Alabama kind of played below average. It's just lucky enough for Bama, you played a team that also wasn't too good, and they ain't been good all season. This performance today, like the only way Alabama would have had a chance of sneaking in this playoff, and this is just a fighter's chance, is if they would have steamrolled Auburn like 59-0, 65-7 like a Georgia TCU, but no. I don't know how any Alabama fan could look, let's do this. I don't know how any Alabama fan could look me in my eyes and tell me, you know what, Matt? I think Alabama's a playoff team. I don't know how you could do it, because this ain't a playoff team. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I hate to say that, but it's reality. I got to be an analyst first before an Alabama fan. I got to. And I'll tell you this, and this is really a conversation we'll get into on Tuesday night. Did I want, as a Bama fan, this is the Bama fan in me talking, did I want to make the playoffs? Of course. I always want a shot. I always want an opportunity. That's what life's about. Even if you got a 1% chance of getting that dream job, of achieving your dreams, whatever, you always want a shot. So yes, I wanted to be in the playoffs. But here's the next question. Do I think Alabama even had a chance of winning the championship? Heck to the no. They couldn't have won that playoff in their biggest dreams. I'd bet my house that Alabama wouldn't have won the championship this year if they would have snuck into a playoff. Alabama doesn't have a chance. So that's why I'm not too upset about it, because it's well, for me it's championship or bust. Alabama's just not very good this year. Sucks to say, but it's reality. Let's pull up some of these numbers, why don't we? And we'll talk a little bit about the Miami game, because they don't look too good either, and that's my next question. Is Miami a playoff team? Well, let me know in the comment section down below. And if the answer to that question is yes, what have they done? Who have they beat? What is their best win this year? I think they beat Louisville, Florida. What else have they done? At least with Notre Dame, and they had a pretty good showing at USC. You can say, oh, well, they beat A&M on the road, which is respectable. But Miami, I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see what the committee does there. My marker is about to dry out. Hopefully it can get me through this weekend, because I got to get another one. Thorne on the night, 24 for 41. I didn't think he played atrocious, but it wasn't anything. I mean, this was the most Peyton Thorne game ever. It's just what he does. He's always going to have an interception. One touchdown. If he was a little bit better, Auburn might have had a better chance. Milroe, I thought he threw the ball pretty decent. Only had 6 incompletions, 256 through the air. Would have had 55 more and another touchdown, or he didn't even have a passing touchdown, my apologies. He would have had one passing touchdown if Ryan Williams would have cost that, and I think there was another one a receiver dropped. I think that did happen, right? Anyways, we'll just keep chugging along here. But he also had 3 rushing touchdowns, but here's the kicker. We'll draw an arrow under here, or a line. He had 3, count them, 3 turnovers, 1 interception, and 2 fumbles. Against a good team, or a team that's playing hot and inspired football like Oklahoma, Vanderbilt, Tennessee, that's what beats you. But against Auburn, you kind of get away with it. And in total, Alabama had 4 turnovers, to be exact. I do want to double check on this. Milroe had 3 turnovers, right? Yeah, Milroe. Oh, here's the thing. Milroe actually had 3 fumbles. He lost 2 of them, so he could have had 4 turnovers, had the interception. So I say, too, I'd probably be in a better mood if Alabama just, completely destroyed them, but Alabama didn't play that good. And I hate sounding negative, guys, but it's not me being negative. It's just what happened. I'm analyzing what I saw. Y'all see me. I praise Alabama when they played good against LSU, Wisconsin, and when you play bad, I got to sit up here and say you played bad. It is what it is. Fortunately, Auburn, they just didn't capitalize in the first half. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it, missed field goal. I mean, just lackluster. But I'm not shocked. Auburn's not a good football team, and Alabama, well, they're above average, but not by much. Auburn's record's 5-7 for a reason, and Alabama's record's 9-3 for a reason. You just never know which version of Alabama you're going to get. Some drives, they look amazing. Some drives, not so much. Same thing for their defense. I thought the defense stepped up tonight. As always, they could have played better, but defense really saved Alabama. There's not much more to say about this game, and I'll do this since it is the final game of the season. Before the bowl game, I guess we'll be playing in the Pop-Tart Bowl against somebody. I don't really care if we're not in the playoffs, just to be honest with you. I am disappointed. It was still an entertaining and fun season, rather less. It was Kevin DeBoer's first year. I'm not going to criticize him too much. Hopefully we learn, or we have learned, and we'll have a new quarterback next year. That'll be interesting. There's a lot to look forward to, but it just sucks. And I don't even want to talk about next year because it's so far away, and we still got this college football season to finish. It just sucks, man. It sucks not playing in the postseason because as a Bama fan, you're just used to always being in the postseason, and we're not going to the SEC championship. So next week I'll be sitting my butt on that chair while Georgia gets to have fun and playing the championship, and the winner of Texas A&M. Everyone gets to play in the playoff, and Alabama's going to be playing some meaningless bowl game. But You reap what you sow. You lose to Vanderbilt, you lose to Tennessee, and you lose to Oklahoma. It's what you get. It's what you deserve. Playoff teams don't lose to Vanderbilt and Oklahoma. They don't. Not both of them. You can go 1-1, but here's the thing. Alabama went 0-2. Miami, they are who I thought they are. Me personally, actually, I'll get into it tonight because I'll probably stay up and do my rankings, so be on the lookout for that. There's not much to say about Miami. Defense sucks, one of the worst in the nation, and their offense is amazing. It just comes down to who's going to get a stop at the end of the game. Syracuse ain't a bad ball club. Who would you have in, though? Miami? Oh, yeah, two. South Carolina or Bama? I'm curious. Your thoughts down below about that.